Welcome to Schnozzcast, episode 63 for Saturday, March 14th, 2020. The greatest podcast in the history of communication.
Is that what they're calling us
Yes, that's what yes, let's just say they are, and we'll move on.
We've taken quite the leap.
All other podcasts bow to us.
That's what I like to hear. I don't know what that was.
I don't either. That's kind
of crazy sounds going off.
Noises! Sure. Loud noises! Was that a camera or a light?
No, that was something in the headphones, it sounded like.
That's weird. I can see the headphone mixer blinking, and that's all good.
Everything sounds fine now.
Yeah. All right, well, we won't worry about that then. We'll take care of it in post.
Sounds good.
So, this is Bob. I rarely introduce myself, so there you go. That's out of the way. And sitting across from me, looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I rarely introduce myself, so there you go. That's out of the way.
Oh, sorry, that's the TV.
Still
getting used to this.
Looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I rarely introduce myself, so there you go. No. That's out of the way.
Oh, sorry, that's the TV. All right.
All right. Let's. I can scrub all that shit out, so let's start again. Hey, this is Bob. I don't often introduce myself, but there you go. Now that's out of the way. And sitting across from me, looking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Mr. Cory.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. With his signature introduction.
Of course. As one does.
Cory, how are you now?
Oh, not so bad. And you?
Not so bad.
Speaking of which, is that going to be part of housekeeping, or are we going to tell that as a separate story?
Let's wait for, we've got one Nicholas J. Bader Esquire who is working a normal shift today and should be here within 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And so let's wait for him.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll have some thoughts.
I would hope so. He was there.
And we've already got some bad news for him, so I'd rather not pile on more bad news like, oh, we already talked about that. You didn't get a chance. He would literally, you would see like a mushroom cloud coming up in his eyeballs.
We already covered the most exciting topic that we did as a team this week. You weren't here, Nick. You're welcome.
You don't, the whole audience, if there is such a thing, would absolutely know how much that would just infuriate him. Oh my God, he would be beside himself.
Yeah, I don't think today's the day for that.
Rage. Yeah, no, because, dear listeners, we've got some more bad news to drop on him, but we're going to wait until after the podcast because it's also going to make him really upset. As everyone knows, we're all dealing with this coronavirus bullshit. And, when you work in law enforcement in the healthcare industry, you've got your fucking hands full this week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Yeah, and he's in management, so he's got extra management-type responsibilities that I'm kind of glad I don't have at this point. But, so he's already got that shit in his mind. And we're about to drop some bad news on him that's going to give him probably several hours worth of work over the next few days.
Oh, I can only imagine how upset he's going to be.
And the loss of some personal property, so... And I can say that now because A, he's not here, and B, he doesn't listen to this fucking podcast. Not like I do. I listen back every week because I got to do the editing.
As do I.
And so does Cory, yeah. But would you agree that it's a good exercise in self-examination and continual improvement?
Oh, definitely agree.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd do without it. We certainly wouldn't be... If there are those out there that would say that we're good, they would certainly agree that we wouldn't be this good if we didn't do that.
Very true.
Learn from past mistakes and, make adjustments.
Like not muting the TV when we start.
Yeah, running joke. We've now gone over 1 calendar year and we're still doing dopey shit like leaving the volume on the television in the background.
I mean, in our defense, though, we did have a lot to set up today.
It was more that we didn't have as much time as we would have liked to do it. But we started on time. So, what more do you want from us?
Congrats to us.
You want blood? You want me to sweat garlic for you? Sing an opera? Lose a war? Hey!
They want the heads of the Schnozzcast team.
Yeah, heads will roll.
Heads will roll.
Heads will roll, bitch. What are you drinking over there tonight, sir?
Currently a little Sprite Zero and vodka.
What kind of vodka?
The Kirkland Signature from the old Costco.
Yeah, the old Costco. Quality item.
I mean, you can't beat the deal.
No, that's what they say.
$13.99.
That's the word on the street.
That is.
Yeah.
So it's better than going to the local store and spending $25 on the amount that you get for what you get at Costco for $13.99.
As long as what you're drinking doesn't taste like goat piss and gasoline.
No, it's very, very good. 6 times distilled.
Well, that's better than 5.
Very true.
So I can't really argue with that.
Then I ran it through some coffee filters on my own and made it 7 times distilled.
Put it through the old Hawkeye still in the swamp, and you're good to go.
That is correct.
I am drinking a Syrah, Côte du Rhône. It was a good year.
Yes.
Not really sure what year it is, but 2015. Look at that. That was the year that wine was the best it'll ever be. So
Of course.
can't argue with that.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So I just felt like, let's start tonight with just a little piss and vinegar, right? A little. You can't be great unless you think you're great.
Okay.
That's what I just made that up.
Okay. All right.
Copyright Bob Rankin 2020. So yeah, greatest podcast ever. We've been doing this so long that I'm literally amazed. I literally amaze myself with how good we are.
Not saying much.
So as far as housekeeping goes, I think you made a comment to me that you had actually listened to, while you were doing video editing, you had put the audio version of the podcast on, and we're listening to that
Yes.
a couple nights ago. And I think the direct quote from you was, "Bob, you sound amazing."
That was not the direct quote.
You sure?
I think the direct quote was that we all sounded amazing.
That doesn't sound as amazing as I thought it did.
Bob, listen, I sounded like shit. You, on the other hand,
Yeah.
voice of an angel, sir.
It's like angels pissing directly into my ears.
Like
when you
Fergie
talk.
and Jesus.
Oh. It's like before that, you sound like you mouth sexed a bottle of helium. But now, it's like God himself.
Now with this brand new technology.
Jerked off directly into my ears when you speak. Sorry to the Christian conservative crowd out there. We all still love you. But yeah, you can really tell. If I just move over just a little bit, it's the mic just kind of goes boop and just goes away.
Oh, hey, and back. Great for sound effects.
Well, you would think so. But anyway.
Quick on the draw with that one.
So, housekeeping, that's pretty much it. Let's move on for housekeeping. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I have been delinquent. It was a busy week, and did not have a chance to go back and look at some of the analytics and see how we're doing in the episodes. I did publish the last one a few days ago, and it looked good. I mean, people are definitely listening. I did see we got a follower on Facebook, a like from the page from someone in Saudi Arabia today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not see that yet.
Yeah, I don't know if that person would really want me to read their name on the air, but I will just say, you know who you are, and we deeply appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. That's awesome to have international listeners.
Tell your friends. You and the bike. You
and
two girls.
Hey, you.
So on the way over here tonight, Cory picked me up, and he's running a little bit behind, but not an issue at all. And we stopped off at the 7-Eleven because we needed a couple of supplies. And
oh boy,
I got in line, and there was some other guy behind me, and then Cory was behind that person. So I go up there and I make my purchase, and for which she had to take my identification, which I'm fine with. I know how 7-Eleven works. I know that that's required to make a purchase there. If it's anything that requires you to be 21 and older. So there you go. It's fine. So if you're new to the podcast, generally we, every 20 minutes or so, some nights a little bit more frequently than that, but we tend to break for a shot, and that shot is generally always Fireball. Len, let's get into that in a little bit as to what else it could be and how we can set that up.
Okay.
But I digress. So Cory, from 2 spots behind me in line, says, "Oh, hey, do you think we need to buy some Fireball? Like we might be out in Nick's basement." And I said, "Oh, that's a good idea. What should I get?" And he's like, just get a pint." not saying that he was also going to buy one, but he's telling me like, "Oh, you get a pint." So I called. So the girl was still sitting there, the cashier, and I said, "Sorry, I know I just cashed out. Can you give me a pint of Fireball?" She goes back to get it. She's like, "I'm going to need to see his ID though." I'm like, "Why?"
And she like immediately shut everything down. Like the entire store had to stop.
Yeah, and I was befuddled.
But
Because, like,
you were mid sentence.
Well, I not only was I buying the Fireball, I had already given her my ID, and she knows I'm old enough to buy. If she wants to ask for my ID again, I'm gonna look at her like, I know you're not doing this because you're that dumb.
I did not vanish. I did not vanish and go anywhere.
Maybe the cameras are watching you. Although I think I made a smart ass comment, which probably didn't help. Which was like, I think I'm only a few seconds older than the last time I gave this to you. But she might not have heard that. But so she's like, no, I heard him ask you for it, so I need his ID. I'm like, no, we're together. I'm buying this. I'm paying for it. I asked you for it. You're selling to me. No, that's not how this works. He asked you for it. I know he wants it. Is that what she said? I know he wants it, or he wants you to get it.
No, she said, because basically just made it seem that I was trying to slyly have you buy me booze.
Right, as if
she said,
you were 18.
Yeah, she looked over at me. She's like, he ordered it. Like, no, I didn't. I just said,
like we're in a restaurant.
Yeah, I said,
I'm paying.
And I just said a pint. I didn't say, hey, Bob, can you buy me a pint of Fireball?
Exactly.
Now, that I could understand. But the point that you brought up at the second we got in the car is that if I was not of age to buy my own alcohol, I don't think we'd be anywhere near dumb enough to stand in the store together and me ask you that in front of the cashier.
Yeah. Well, so there's many reasons why it was dumb. And if she felt like she was going to get fired if she didn't say that, then I guess what are you going to do? But to me, It made no sense, because if you were legitimate, and looking at you're a hirsute gentleman with some might call a Jeremiah Johnson or Grizzly Adams sort of a beard, clearly not.
No, as I even mentioned, I'm not a 16-year-old baby-face looking guy that.
Yeah.
She would be like, wait a second.
I look at your face and I can just see the years on your face.
Like, I know, it's like I'm 90.
You've done some hard living.
Right.
So, but if you had legitimately forgotten your ID, and of course you're over 21, but you didn't bring it, let's say you left it at home, forgot your wallet, and you're like, well, we got to stop at the store anyway. I mean, at that point, I get it, because, but even at the same time, you could have been outside around the corner, and then I bought it and immediately gave it to you. Or you could have been waiting in the car, and it would have been just me. And I could have got in the car, given you the pint of Fireball, watched you chug it in their parking lot from start to finish, threw the bottle on the ground
against the side of the building.
What would have been the difference? The only difference is that we are together. I'm paying for it. I'm buying it. I want it. Here's my ID. I'm old enough. That's it. I can't believe at this point in my life I'm still bitching about being carded.
And again too, I get that 7-Eleven has these protocols in order so their employees, don't get in trouble.
Yeah.
But at the same turnaround, again, like just her overall demeanor of how she went about it,
yeah,
I think was what really was the, like, had she just been like, hey man, I know, I just asked for your ID, but, and him, asking you for 5, she just literally just shut everything down and was like, nope, not happening.
She felt like we were trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah, which I don't, by the looks of us, you can clearly tell that was not the case.
Ne'er-do-wells.
I mean,
Johnny-come-latelys.
Ne'er-doers.
Yeah, doing some nair.
Uh-oh, I hear some noise upstairs.
It's the Bader family alarm system. I gotta give him some shit too about his AI robot wife not liking my voice.
Yeah, she did not like you whatsoever when you walked in and told her we were home.
God damn it. But anyway. Oh, I even said at one point, like, I hadn't even left the table. I was still in the front, and I'm like, he's also going to buy me.
Yeah, and I told her, I was trying to tell her, she didn't want to hear anything about it.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care. I'm like, all right, this is ridiculous. So, all right, we can move on from that. I think I've got enough on my chest.
You feeling better now?
I feel good. Mr. Nicholas Bader.
Why?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not tripping over that. All right, Cory, we got a number of things we're going to talk about here in episode 63. Where do we want to even fucking begin? If I have a booze news story, which I do, and you have one, should we start with at least getting one of them out of the way?
What's
Because I feel like once he comes down here, there's going to be some small talk, and he's going to be caught up, and then we can tell the group story from this week, etc.
no? Let's hang on because then it was keeping everything segmented in one segment.
So people can like skip. I
Well,
don't like booze news.
That
Go
too,
past that.
and also for the video, it makes for being able to put good
That's a good point.
good
All
cuts
right.
in it
All
at
right.
segments.
God damn it. Fucking logic.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I can tell the story from dinner tonight. So
There you go.
I went. So my mom and her husband came into town for 2 days, yesterday and today. They're leaving tomorrow morning. The reason was for a funeral. My mom's cousin, who she's been very, very close with, his wife passed away, and I've known them my whole life pretty much, but I don't ever really ever hang out with them. I would see them at various family functions, but it was never more than like once a year over the past 25 years, and in the past 10, it's probably been way less than that. I think I've probably gone 4 or 5 years without seeing them. I hear about them from my mom, and they're nice people. In fact, apparently he's got a podcast too. I found that out at dinner.
Oh wow.
Because they're like, how long you got? You got other plans tonight? And I said, well, yeah, I gotta leave because I know you don't know this because we don't talk very often about this kind of stuff, Mom. But I have a podcast. And she gave me that mom thing, like, oh, well, that's nice. Like,
good for you.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? And so her husband got piped up too. You got a what? A what cast? You got an iPod thing? What do you got?
An iCast.
What are you doing? So I just started to explain, and I could tell like fairly quickly that like it's going to take a lot more work to get them to understand. So I'm just going to leave it at like it's kind of like a radio show. And they're like, okay,
It's like a radio program.
yeah, we're on the. So we're on the radio. So I explained that, and we were talking about this and that, just small talk. And they've never been to Black Rock, so they're like, oh, you get a stone in the middle of your table? Well, I gotta cook my own food? I go, yeah, the stone's like 800 degrees, so it's not like, it doesn't take long at all. Like, they're gonna give you your steak, you're gonna slice it into, little strips, and literally, if you want it, even if you wanted it medium, you're gonna go like, count to three, done. That's it, and you're ready to eat.
Side note on Black Rock too, it does seem like the older crowd is definitely against it because that's all I've heard from anyone I think over the age of 60 is that I don't want to cook my own food.
Yeah, I think a lot of them have children, and they've born their children, they've raised them, they're moved on. They're like, I'm done cooking for people.
Right.
The whole reason why I go out to dinner is I want someone cooking for me.
Not even cooking for myself.
Yeah, I don't want that trash. So I'm trying to sort of sugarcoat it and paint it with a very pretty broad brush, going, this is going to be an amazing experience. You're going to have a great time. It's like a communal thing. I'm like, you ever had fun?
Ooh, I wouldn't have gone with communal.
No, I saved it. Hold on.
I was going to say, slippery slope.
Hold on. I said, have you ever had fondue? Oh, yeah. Oh, honey, we haven't had fondue in a long time. Darling, he's a great cook. We should do that again. So now we're off on a fucking 10-minute fondue track. Once I fucking steer that shit back into the lane, I'm like, it's just like that. You're sort of all doing it together. You're talking. You're enjoying the food. It's a very, family type of thing, rather than like you sitting there with your hands folded and someone brings your food. You're like, chop, 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 cut, 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 eat, chew, 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 and that's it. And you're done. Like this is so. So I sold them on it. While we were eating, like my mom was cutting her steak into like bite-sized pieces, and she took the waiter's direction to we'll do like 3 pieces at a time on the rock, very literally. And so she was like, 1, 2, 3, and then she'd watch it, and then she'd go cut off 3 more, and then she'd go, and she ordered a shit ton of. They ordered a shit ton of food. They got they got the bubbling shrimp on the stone, right? So it's in a little tiny cast iron skillet,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like maybe 8 or 9 shrimp in there in like buttery, spicy, I almost said fluid.
Oh, thanks for killing Black Rock for me, Bob.
Right. It was very good. You get toasted. Yeah. And then he would have gotten like crab cakes too, but she's like, I don't think I could. It's okay. So he orders a New York strip with, and a New York strip is like it was like a 16 ounce.
I would say they're pretty big at Black
It was
Rock.
it's a huge steak. And, I sat down right away, and despite my age, he's like, no, so it's on me. I'm like, no, you don't need to do that. I'm perfectly capable of, like, no, you pay for my mom. I got means. No. We're so happy that you came, blah, 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 blah. So I go, all right.
Okay.
But at the same time, I know, like, I can't go like, oh, I'll have the lobster tails, and I'll have 4 of these and 3 of those, and a couple of these naked lady teas. And so I go, I'll take the 9 ounce sirloin. It was like $15 cheaper than what he ordered. And I'm like, I felt good about that. And I'm like, you get 2 sides. I'm like, I got salad and mashed potatoes. He ordered a side with mushrooms. He got, he's got his 2 sides and his giant steak. And my mom ordered steak plus kielbasa. I'm like, why are you buying? I could go to Kroger and buy kielbasa for like $1.75 tomorrow. And it would probably be the exact same kielbasa. I'm like, why would you do that at Black Rock? But okay, she got that, and then she got a side of asparagus. They both got a giant baked potato that's the size of my fist. There's a huge baked potato. And so all this food, and my mom is like, she's really, I think I was probably almost done with my steak. And I could see my mom is still like cutting and chopping and slicing and food cooking and turning and whatever. And I look over at her husband, and I'm like, she's going to be like, yeah, don't ever take me here again. I never worked so hard in my life.
I hate this place.
I didn't work this hard when my kids were young and I was making dinner for them. This is the worst. So I go, and she's got like the rock like is directly in front of her, right? But they're big booths at Black Rock, but she's got all of her food dishes over to like the side. Like as far enough over where like it could have been someone else's dish.
It's not even hers.
So she's like this. She's turned to the right. She's trying to eat. I'm gonna get it to my mouth, and so I'm like, Mom, I'm almost done here. Let me help you. Give me the rest of your steak that hasn't been cooked. I'll cook it for you. You start working on the potato you haven't touched yet, and the asparagus, and blah blah blah. So trying to help her through that, and I think they both enjoyed it, but he literally worked up a sweat. Like he took off his jacket. He was wearing a sport coat. Took off his sport coat, took his tie off, got his handkerchief out, was blotting his forehead. Because I'm sitting there in a Grateful Dead t-shirt because I've already, I went to the funeral today already. I already wore a shirt and tie. I'm just going in for Black Rock now, and then I'm going to the podcast, so I'm dressing for the podcast. But they have not changed clothes. So, and in his defense, they're sitting there with, there's the stone from the shrimp, there's his stone, my stone, and then my mom, because she got the double thing. She got 2 of them.
You just
So
surrounded.
there's 5 stones on the table. Each one of them is 800 degrees.
Guys, did it get a little hotter in here? Or is it just me?
He's just like dripping sweat. Like it's running over his eyebrows, into his eyes. And he's like, I've been working out downstairs and trying to, kind of get back in some shape. And
a lot of extra steam coming up from the rock from all the sweat.
I sweat really easy. I'm like, do you? Okay. Well, maybe we should have him clear a lot of these empty dishes. The table looked like there had been like a whole football team sitting there eating. The time we were done.
All your moms.
Yeah. So we get done eating, and then this is the story that I wanted to tell.
Oh, that was just the intro?
The intro, right.
Okay.
So we're talking about we talked about a lot of shit. Like I tried to sell him on the idea of a sous vide. He's like talking about, I got a couple smokers in the back. Oh, you don't smoke? Like I'm some kind of fucking asshole because I don't have a smoker. I'm not kidding. He's very nice about it. He's like, this is what smokers are all about, blah, blah, blah. So he starts talking about sports. And he asked me, like, what position I played in football. Oh, I used to, dabble a little with football. And I'm like, dabble? What is dabbling in?
I didn't know one could dabble in football.
I could have got pro, but I just decided I wanted to dabble. I didn't need that pro stuff. It's just way too much pressure. So
I was in it for the sport, not the money.
yeah. So he was talking about what was it? Oh, he was talking about Notre Dame. He's a big Notre Dame fan. He's got a couple of friends that played football at Notre Dame. So I go, okay. Yeah, if I was gonna be a real cock about it, I'd be like, oh, give me some names. Want to look them up?
Well,
Yeah,
pull your phone out.
Exactly. So he started talking about when he was working out and stories he'd heard from his friends who were his age, which is, I'm going to guess, like early 70s. And man, that workout sometimes can be kind of tough, especially when you get the body lockout.
The body lockout?
The body lockout.
Just that's the
In my head, that's what I'm
yeah
thinking. But I go, so what would you say? Let's see if we would have said the same thing here.
So your entire body just locks up.
No, I said, what did you say?
Oh well, okay. Excuse me.
I don't think I heard you right. Body lockout. What are you talking about? So it's like, when you're,
Body locks out.
No, I don't know. What do you mean? He's like, well, when you go to the hospital and you're
No.
I go comatose? No. No, you go to the hospital and you're brain dead? No.
You got the palsy.
I have a palsy that you brought that back.
Oh.
Hey.
There it is.
Ew.
I'm a palsy. You brought it back up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he goes, no, when you're at the hospital and you're in that thing, and I'm like,
Iron lung.
Iron lung. Exactly, that's what I said. No, and I just keep going, and he does not know how to express to me what he's saying, and I'm like, I just want to know what the fuck body lockout is. I've never heard anyone say that before. I played a few sports in my time, lived on this earth for a while, never heard the term. And you're not a doctor, so.
No. Not by any.
So finally, he goes like this. He puts his arms out, and I go, "You're in the stirrups. You're giving birth." And my mom now starts giving me the stink eye.
She's catching on to what you're doing.
She's not. Yeah, she's like, "God damn it!" So he goes, "Well, no, when I go, so you've broken all of your limbs." I go, "Traction." He's like,
full body.
Yes.
Oh,
traction.
Wait.
I go, oh, yeah, right. So I go, okay, let's rewind it. So you're saying body lockout is when you're in traction? He goes, no, you just like, you just go, just exactly like you first did. I go, body, okay, so you're like a prisoner in your body, and you're just your brain, and you're like, I want to move, but I can't move, and nothing is working. Is that what you're... When does that... Okay, first of all, that's not a medical... So, he never explained it, but as he's talking, it dawns on me that his friend, who is his age, was doing some probably ill-advised exercise, physical activity, and threw his back out. It can't stand up straight, so he's calling that... to him, I guess, like, you're immobile, you can't move anything, but he's called it body lockout. And right away when he said, as soon as he said body lockout, the very first time my mom looked at what it was, she goes, yeah, we call it body lockout. I'm like, you're in this too? What is this? This is not a thing. And you're a nurse. There's no excuse
Yeah, I was
for
going
you.
to say, your mom being in the medical field, she should know
you should
better.
know better than that. You can't just make up words for... You should be correcting him. No, there's a word for that, honey. It's called, your back's fucked up.
He's got the Sarasota.
Oh, you got a little of that Vera Cruz.
Oh, Vera Cruz.
Oh, God. He had the Vera Cruz bad.
Wow.
You know, horrible case of Vera Cruz.
Feel bad for the guy.
Well, yeah, as you would.
As one does. So, just so you know,
yeah.
when you...
Don't tell me you looked up body lockout.
When you Google body lockout...
What do you get?
The only things that show up are
Pictures of a crazy person.
videos on how to do a body lock throw in MMA.
Oh, okay. I have heard of that.
And the Master Lock 410 Black Safety Series padlock on Amazon. That is what comes up when you look up the old body lock out.
Oh man, body lockout. The sad thing is now, I laughed. In my head, I did, and when I got in the car, for real, I laughed so hard about it. I'm like, well, I'm talking about it in the podcast. That's all there is to it.
Body lockout.
I can't, and I thought it was so hilarious that it was not an actual thing that his wife, my mom, a nurse, didn't correct him on and just adopted as a thing that is a thing that I'm probably going to start saying all the time now.
I would definitely hope you do.
I got the old body lockout. So I'm in bed with my woman, and we're about to get busy. All of a sudden, I
got the old body lockout.
The worst part was I was on top, and that was not a pretty picture.
Locked out right on top of her. took her by surprise.
the old surprise lockout.
Just eyes get real big. Sorry, babe. Body lockout.
But would you even be able to move your mouth to say body lockout? Your mouth is part of your body.
Body lockout.
I just imagine you're like that Metallica video, right? In one, where you're like the guy who's just trapped in his own body. He can't. He can hear, he can see, but he can't speak, and he's just a prisoner. That's what I think of when I think of body lockout. Otherwise, don't say body lockout. At least come up with a term that means like, oh, my legs and arms don't move for some crazy reason.
That would make more sense, but body lockout is just fun to say.
Well, it is now.
It is.
But if I hadn't told you that story and I just said something like, "Man, I hope I don't get the body lockout," would you have looked at me like I was an insane person?
Oh, okay, Bob. Is that what you're not hoping for, buddy?
Okay. It's all right, buddy. You'll be fine.
You'll make it.
It's okay.
Just go ahead and unlock it. Unlock it.
Do you want me to get the key so I can unlock the body lockout?
Show me where the key's at.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I got 33 minutes in, sir, so you ready for a shot? I don't know what's taken Princess and the Pea up there so long to get ready.
Yeah, the last time we did this, he was down here by like
record time.
10:15.
He must be extra sticky. All right, yeah, so you hold down the fort with your big island chatter.
Oh, yes. I will do my best here. You go over to the... yeah, okay. We'll wait till Nick gets here to talk about that. Sorry.
No, that's after the podcast.
Oh, okay. It's after. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's going to send us spiraling down. It's going to be a death blow to this podcast.
Oh, it's going to be quite bad. But I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
We will.
Oh, what to?
You can just start making random noises with your mouth.
Brr. Hopefully, I don't get a body lockout. Because then I might not even be able to talk.
Why don't you tell them how your day was in the language of a 40s gangster film?
Oh, that's a bit too much of an impression I would have to do.
Yeah. Well, you don't do impressions?
Oh, well, what do you say there? That's all I got for that.
It's not bad.
I would need my...
Went to the corner store, see?
There you go. I would need my zoot suit and fedora.
Yes.
In order to complete that. Oh, well, thank you.
I hear the creakety creak. Shall I leave the server in?
Well, we're not going to wait for him to do the shot, are we?
Well, I'm hoping that by the time I'm done, he'll be done here.
That's hoping for a lot there, big guy.
Well, I pour the syrup.
In all honesty, the lack of movement upstairs makes me think that he might just have gone to sleep.
Well, he's rolling around on his mattress then or something, because there's definitely some...
Oh, can you? I can't hear anything with my headphones on.
Yeah.
I guess he was a little bit louder when he came in, then kind of quieted it down a little bit.
I guess so. I think this is what you would call a lull. That's in the biz, in the podcast biz, we call this a lull. We call this a valley.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, you can call it a gutter ball. You can call it a pitch outside the plate.
I was call it a pop fly.
You can sacrifice fly.
Sack fly.
Yeah.
A slice.
Yeah. We didn't even hit the post on that shot.
Oh no.
No.
That sucks.
No.
Broke the glass.
We hit the mascot. We hit the mascot.
Speaking of hitting mascots.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of the Colorado mascot that shot himself in the balls with the t-shirt cannon?
Ooh. No, is it on YouTube?
It is.
Oh, can we pipe that into the?
We sure can. Because we have that technology now.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. This was.
Cory's gonna pull up a YouTube video. See?
Oh, you see. This was several. It was from this last season.
Okay.
And I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't hear about this.
Well, you know, Cory, I'm a man of many interests and talents. A broad spectrum of things I'm dabbling in, let's say. I can't be all things to all people or all places at all times. Does that help you?
No.
Sounded good in my head, even after I said it.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
As most things do. I'm only told later on that it was ill-advised. You shouldn't say that. All right, so we're doing a search here for Colorado mascot T-shirt cannon. Now you're gonna turn the volume up for this though, right?
Yeah.
Which means if you have.
Well, actually, no. There's really nothing to hear. It's more of a visual.
All right, how long is it?
21 seconds.
21
Storage
seconds.
almost full.
What's that?
Storage almost full.
Oh, fantastic.
When it rains shit, it rains shit constantly.
Jesus Christ.
From all directions. All right, yeah. Well, if one of our cameras for Facebook Live is about to die, we might as well just go ahead with a 21-minute period of silence. You know, I'll try to describe for our listeners what I'm seeing. So I'm looking at a video that's about to start. We've got the Colorado team looking at the sidelines. There's the mascot.
So it
just happened?
Yeah, but it moves back.
Okay. So he's being carted off on a... All right, so it's going to loop back around.
I believe so. Maybe
on the
not.
sidelines with a t-shirt cannon, which apparently he aimed the wrong way.
There it is. Yep. So he thought he was going to shoot it off into the crowd.
Yeah, from the angle that he was looking up, he thought it was really going to shoot a long way. So that must be a powerful cannon that he's got there.
Well, it did separate some nerves and veins.
Oh, you got the medical diagnosis?
Yes, they did post it for some reason, which I'm
So
very
he's got like a
surprised.
separated testicle?
Yes.
I just made that up. I assume there's such a thing as a separated testicle.
Yeah, it did some pretty good damage.
Some good separation.
Some great separation.
Nicholas Bader.
How are you now?
We waited for you for a number of things, one of which was our first shot.
Oh my god.
So let's tip him up. Oh, if you're new to the podcast, we're doing a shot. We're toasting you right now, so if you want to pause this real quick, if this is in the future and you're listening to us on audio, you can go ahead and hit pause now. And we're back. Oh, sorry, I thought you were going to do
Where was the future one?
Purple.
The purple one?
Yep. Nope, sorry.
Oh, come on.
Damn it. Well, I'm not looking at it. That one, yeah.
Okay, so
Hit it
now,
again. Hit it again to shut it
if
off.
this is in the future.
Yep.
That was the future button I was looking for.
Comedy gold. All right, so here's to you.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Woo!
There it is.
There it went. Oh, it's not as good to wash that down with red wine.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Oh,
Sounds very disgusting, actually.
it's very disgusting.
Oh. Oh, it's good.
Is it though?
The tongue, the lips, the tip of the teeth.
So I apologize for my tardiness.
You know what? We filled in our loyal audience, such as it is,
Uh-huh.
and on your situation. So, not a big deal. they're all sitting at home quarantined anyway, so where are they going to go?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Probably still not here.
right, okay, that's fair. Oh, you and your logic, you got me again. All right, so we sort of glossed over housekeeping for the most part to tell a couple of stories from this week. But one of the things we wanted to wait on you for was our trip this week to Letterkenny.
Oh, yeah.
Which we were lucky enough to see before they canceled the whole tour along with the rest of the civilized world and put the United States into a lockdown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're all infected. That was just my inner Joe. That was.
Well, how could we do that?
Welcome death, everybody, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
I think it's quite pertinent.
I love that response was never prompted, and he has probably still no idea that we had that drop.
Oh, he doesn't listen to this.
He did comment on the Facebook Live why it was only you and I at first, and why
didn't he come here?
and why we didn't call him.
Look, hold on.
And as I said, well, we were kind of expecting to hear from you.
Yeah, this is not like a kindergarten or a preschool. I don't call you and ask you to come on the show. How it works is you call
hey,
us.
Joe, what you doing, buddy? You
working in kid.
you want to come over to the podcast?
You know what I appreciate that I could just point out, and I love to give credit where credit's due. And
what?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, if it's
which is usually himself.
if it's to me, then
I love that.
Still giving credit.
It's begrudging credit to the rest of you fuckers.
But this is not credit to me. This is credit to Danielle. I give Danielle credit because she understands that I've had to be late to the last several podcasts, and almost like an inmate in prison on death row, she's taken a podcast strike as a sign of protest to show her support and that she's standing with me. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Danielle.
I don't think that's why she's not here, but okay.
I think we know.
But that might be.
I think we know.
Batman was the hero they got, but not the hero that they deserved.
Yep.
And I feel this is a very similar situation.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what he's saying.
So, Letterkenny Live. Your thoughts, Nick Bader?
Oh man, it was amazing. Aside from the looming, the looming disease that was all around us that we didn't know. I guess we didn't
we knew about it.
We didn't want to know it. We're like, oh, it's not here though.
The atmosphere was not anywhere near as dire as it is on March 14th today.
Or the day after.
That was only 4 days ago.
Right. But when they said like the day after.
Yeah.
Hey buds, we're gonna be canceling our fucking shows.
They did.
It's like, wait, what?
But not only did they cancel those shows, and by the way, this is for if you're like far in the future and you're like, I wasn't even born then when the Schnozzcast was around. What was this coronavirus about? This is what happened. Somewhere between March 11th and March 14th, 2010, the entire world stopped. Countries closed their borders. Major League Baseball, hockey, football, soccer.
When?
All concerts. 2020.
You said 2010.
Damn it. 20.
Man.
Damn it.
It was a long time ago.
Don't interrupt my incorrect story, Cory. Let me just prattle on, and you can cut me afterward.
Sorry.
So yeah, all major sports done, all concerts done, any gatherings of 250 people or more, certainly in the state of Michigan, and I feel like that's probably a statewide thing.
I don't see what the problem is.
Canceled. All schools break for at least 3 weeks, sometimes 4. Churches closed. Everything is shut down. It's a lawless Mad Max Thunderdome out there with no toilet paper available. And I literally added a bidet to my Amazon cart today.
A bidet today?
Today.
Okay.
Today,
Enough with the rhyming. The story, Cory. The bidet for today. Yeah, the bidet for today. Come on. I can't deal with any.
Stop being such a dick, Nick.
I can't deal with it. Cory brings like a new glass 2-liter of vodka every week, and it always goes home with him, and then a new one shows up the next week. And I can't help but just assume that he's stocking up for the coronavirus and that not within a week's time he's finishing 2 liters of vodka while he works on video.
I think his strategy, Nick, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
is that he's just going to completely coat his entire insides with alcohol. so that it's just a constant flow of alcohol and a constant renewed coating that just keeps like sheening over itself. So if he ever gets the germs, you're going to go, no, fuck that. I might stay on the fingertips, maybe the tip of the lips, but I'm not going inside that guy.
So it's like a COVID coating.
It's an anti-COVID coating. It's like rust protection on a car.
Yeah, I don't think any kind of virus stands a chance inside Cory's his body, his immune system, anywhere.
Might have met their match
With that spicy cinnamon surging through his veins at all hours of the day,
Yeah.
and then the 80 proof vodka. I don't think it stands a chance. That's why, as you see now, I mean, I'm seeing for the first time, but I can only make assumptions. So he went from vodka Sprite only to I haven't finished yet. Can I finish? Excuse me. Can I finish?
Can't finish.
Didn't say anything.
So he was taking a rebuttal breath, and I saw it. But now I see it went from that in the past several weeks to, I offered him some words of wisdom of calorie saving, and he says he got that info elsewhere, but I still believe it.
So he shit on your efforts to help him?
Yeah.
Almost immediately?
I can't drink diet. And then all of a sudden now it's not diet, it's zero. I'm like, oh, okay. It tastes better. So now he's doing all zero, which
it doesn't taste better.
I can appreciate. I mean, it does taste better,
Zero tastes better than diet.
but they're both diet.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, no.
It still tastes like shit, but
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
it doesn't have that teeth-rotting sweetness that the
Right.
real stuff has.
But now he's gone, I see Coke Zero.
There's a reason for that.
Well, I can only assume that...
Let's go back in
there's
time. Let's
there's-
go to the Wayback Machine, back to the 7-Eleven story that we told probably 30 minutes ago. And we didn't even talk about what Cory put up on the counter, which I commented on. I'm like, dude, you don't drink Coke Zero.
Yeah, so we're at 7-Eleven. We got hassled about buying some Fireball and ID. I told Bob,
You bought an ID at 7-Eleven?
yes,
No.
fake ID.
Yeah, and we'll leave
Investigation
it at
discovered.
that. We'll leave it at that. We'll advise Nick to go back and listen to what he missed,
Okay.
So
which will never happen, and then we'll just leave it there.
I go to make my purchases, and I have the 3 bottles of Coke Zero. And Bob's like, "But Coke Zero? Wait, since when?" I'm like, "Well, they don't have any other zero products, such as Sprite or Mountain Dew, which I would have preferred." He's like, "You gotta be kidding me." He's like, "It's 7-Eleven." And yeah, there was absolutely none. Not in the 2-liter form or the 20-ounce
Oh
form.
no,
So,
it's reached the seven.
Yep,
It's reached the
not
Sprite
just toilet,
people.
right? The toilet paper mob has now taken all the Sprite Zero.
So they're like, "Oh my God, what do we do?" Well, we can't squirt bottles of Coke Zero on our ass.
I can't be buying a bidet.
What looks the closest to water?
What am I going to squirt up my ass?
Sprite
That's going to
Zero.
give me less calories.
I don't want
less
all those
filling.
calories.
Yeah. They go because it's just like tampons full of vodka up there. It goes right in your bloodstream.
oh, is that?
Yeah.
They're the same, huh?
Oh, it's there.
Oh, okay.
It's just science, Cory.
Cory's like, tampons full of vodka, not just for girls anymore. Oh, look at that little Cory tail he's got.
Ooh, hey.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago where Nick was like, "Hey, wow, how can we be so complimentary and helpful to each other on one breath, and now all of a sudden we're tearing each other down?"
Right.
He's like, "Oh, I saw that rebuttal smile. I'm going to stop you right there, buddy. I'm going to continue with my
Well, because-
denigrating you in my story."
Everything's, and I didn't finish my story, and everything's so direct and intentional with Cory and slow that I saw, and I was like, "No, you don't. No." If I had a rolled up,
So you put your glove up and you're like, "No, I got this, pop fly.
Yeah.
I can see it coming all the way. I saw it right. Yeah,
I don't
I'm watching it
understand
come
the
in."
reference.
Sports reference.
but
Sports.
Oh, we dumped a shitload of sports references earlier. Thank God he wasn't here. I didn't even think.
Yeah,
about
we
that.
did.
Oh, it felt so good too. We never get to do that.
Well, I was going to say,
Oh.
we have to get it out when Nick's not here.
But now
so.
I get to go back and listen to it like on a loop over and over again. I'll you know what? I'll put that on a button on the mixer.
I think
No.
that's a great idea.
Perfect. Problem solved.
It was 10 seconds of just complete sports references back and forth to each
Yeah.
other.
I'm sure everyone will appreciate that
Oh, they did.
100 times. In the near
Oh, we might get a whole new audience now.
future. See, but here's the thing.
Wait, they talk about sports?
But here's the thing that I'm going to tell
Shut
you.
your dirty mouth.
Everyone's a little upset about the fact that sports aren't on right now, and that kids are home from
Right.
school. But I don't have kids, and I don't like sports.
Yeah, but they're looking
so
for sports. Who's going to give them those sports, Nick?
I don't care. I'm happy right now.
We are. That's who.
You know what? I'm going to see a lot more of my friends that like sports now. That's all it means to me.
That's fine.
I'm going to say Tony's actually just going to barricade himself inside his house and cry.
He can't stay in his house too long because he's only got 4 rolls of toilet paper.
That is true. That's
Wait, what?
yeah. So when talking,
Mr. prepared himself.
We will get back to the Letterkenny story in a second.
Yes.
But keep going.
yeah, I'm afraid if I mention his name too much, that his face is gonna pop up on the screen on the edited video like 100 times. So,
Well, that's not Tony's fault. Tony's fault that is.
but damn it,
Don't you wag your finger.
Right.
I'm ringing.
but no. So
Am
I
I
was,
getting better? Is that getting better?
yeah, it's
All
good,
right.
definitely. So I was talking to him the other day.
The other day.
And he said, "Hey man, you prepared? You got all your goodies?" Which I didn't know what that meant. And I said, "Yeah, I haven't gone shopping yet, but I really my goodies.
Oh.
I haven't.
Oh,
I haven't. Who was talking about goosing last time? Remember? Oh yeah,
Goosing the listeners
yeah. I didn't like that.
with a $2 boost.
But
look, just because you had a bad time being goosed once, don't hold a grudge.
I had
against
horrible
that person.
times being goosed. So I told him, I said, no, I said, I really haven't gone out and got anything. He's like rubbing my nose in the fact that now he's training on day shift. So
Right.
as I'm like begrudgingly going into work, he's now, let us out early, 2 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, okay, great.
Well, that's not your Tony.
No, I know, but
Oh, okay.
it was my upset with Tony. And
you have many layers to it. It's like an onion.
like an onion, yeah,
Just keep on peeling them back.
multifaceted.
Yeah.
But so he's, I'm going to go to the store. And I can't wait to get all this stuff. And I'm going to go and I'm just going to load up because I've been just preparing for this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I said, well, don't forget the toilet paper. And he's like, yeah, I'm not really concerned about that. And I'm like, you're not
It sound like famous last words.
you're not concerned about toilet paper? And he's like, I'm just going to stock up on alcohol and food and like, food and stuff. And I'll just worry about the toilet paper later. And I'm like, well, what, do you need more? And he's like, yeah, we have 4 rolls. This was 2 days ago. He lives obviously with his wife, that's double the toilet paper. So I'm like,
No, in my experience, women
Triple?
use way less toilet paper than dudes.
yeah, but they have to use toilet paper every time they go to the bathroom.
Right,
Guys
but
do not.
But they're not going 12 times a day,
No.
and then each time they go there, it's like a couple of squares. Unless it's the old dreaded number 2.
Howard's informed me that she just shakes it.
She did not say
She
it.
did not.
She did not say it.
Please tell me she did.
No, she didn't.
No.
That would be so awesome if she did.
No.
She would go like in my mind.
How are you coming on the show next
Oh
week?
my God, yes. We'll do a Holly-centric episode.
Joe says he agrees with me. He hates kids in sports. So
I don't know where the kids come
The
from.
opinion that no one asked for.
thank
That's
you,
fine.
Joe.
That's
I
fine.
appreciate
You know
it.
what? We would talk about that more, Joe, if you were here, but you're not. So moving on.
But the thing is, so I said, okay, so
Summon a demon.
got a little tied up at work. All of a sudden, get a text message, a shopping cart full of just overflowing with stuff, and I'm like,
Tony did.
yeah.
Okay.
And he's like, God, I'm so ready for this. Da 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 da. So I zoom in. It's a high quality photo. No toilet paper.
Right.
A lot of frozen pizzas. A couple
Dude, you could totally wipe your ass with a frozen
a
pizza.
couple cases of beer,
Defrosted.
and I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
yeah, that's kind of gross, but okay, I guess.
I'm like, dude, what are you gonna do? He's like, yeah, I'll figure that out later.
How are you going to get all the nooks and crannies if you defrost it? It's got to be frozen, man.
No, you,
Dude, I went to college. I know this shit. This is science.
So he had said he's gonna start using rags. Yeah. So I said, look, man.
How many rags must you have to go, you know what? All of my rags are now shit cloths.
So I told him, I said, well, yeah, if we hang out, make sure you just shower, okay? Because I'm not dealing with this, I have to.
But the problem wasn't that he wasn't showering. The problem is now that he's wiping his ass with a rag.
I don't know. He doesn't have anything to wipe his ass with, so he's gonna just smell all day, apparently.
But you
so.
can't say, I'll just use rags, and know deep in your heart that I don't have any rags.
Oh no, he doesn't do any kind of mechanics. So he doesn't have any shop rags, or he's gonna have to start ripping
I
t-shirts.
have rags, and I'm not a mechanic.
as a matter of fact, though, what was his one actual quote that he told you he was willing to get ready to do in order to get toilet paper?
Suck a lot of dick.
No,
That
You walked right into that
was
one,
one of them.
no, he no.
I
yeah.
knew it!
He did say, he said, well, I'd be willing to trade booze,
Sexual favors. For
booze,
toilet
food, and sexual favors.
paper. I called it. Oh, I'm sure you weren't surprised.
No,
to
I
hear
wasn't. I wasn't. So,
But I'm sure in his mind, it's only the sexual favors that he'd like to perform. Because there's no shortage of super hot models that really need you to do your sexual favors.
Right,
With
like
their excess
like
there's so much toilet paper here. I wonder who would come over.
like any girls are out there going, "Oh my God, Tony Martinez! If only he was unhitched and I could give him all my toilet paper, so he could
podcast you guys do.
perform some kind of fellatio on me."
Who's that suave gentleman who goes by the name of Tony?
I see you keep putting his face with that "Oh my God, seriously" sticker.
Yeah, and I can't, and I masturbate to that every night.
So
as a matter of fact, I need all that toilet paper to clean up all the wetness.
Exactly.
well,
right.
and that's another thing that he's going to. That was the elephant in the room. Like, hey, look, man. When you do your business, you're gonna have to use something else. But yeah. So then he had stated that he was going to, and Kelly Martinez, if you're listening to this, he was going to raid his parents' stash.
Oh, wait a minute. What?
Raid his parents' stash.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is a serious move that has far-reaching implications for your family relationship.
Oh yeah, and I told him, I said,
Now, if it's your in-laws' stash,
but maybe they're
totally fine with it.
maybe they're preppers. Maybe they got a ton. I don't know. But he did state, he's like, "What do you want from me, man?" He's like, I went to Costco in December and bought a huge thing of toilet paper, and now I have 4.
He knows it's March now, right?
I didn't know there was going to be a disease. But if they can spread toilet paper that far, I don't know how many he bought.
But hold on, his justification for not being prepared for him or his wife and their toilet paper needs is that I went and I bought that shit 4 months ago.
Yep. Maybe he bought a pallet. I don't know.
Tony doesn't look like a pallet.
No, there's no way.
But I did tell him. I said, well, I broke down. I was already on the fence about the bidet. Has about 4,500 reviews. As soon as I looked on Amazon, thinking I was a genius,
They're all out now.
They were still there, but it was like, there are only 2 left of this, and I'm like, what the? I will buy both of them.
Who did?
I did.
You bought both of them?
I bought 2.
You're
Are
going
you going to use both?
to be sad to know that Tony Pate bought one just after you did.
Who?
My buddy who goes on the March Madness trip. Like we literally just canceled the whole trip, and the day after you posted that, he's like, "Guess what, fuckers? That's what's on my toilet." And I'm like, "That's the same one." Okay, so question for you:
Yep.
Are you actually going to use them both?
Nope.
Will you sell me one?
Perhaps.
Okay,
Bob, this
Hold
isn't
on.
a,
For 40% of the markup
this
price.
is an
Hold on.
investment, Bob.
Hold
This
on.
is an investment.
I didn't say how much I would pay you for it. You're assuming that I'm trying to get a deal or something. We've been doing a podcast together weekly for a year, and your response when you've bought the last 2 in existence,
But you
and
said
are only going to use one.
you said you bought one.
I put it in my cart. I said, "There's none left." I couldn't order it.
And confirm.
Yeah, and you have 2, and the answer I get is, perhaps.
We'll see. I do have 2 toilets
How many asses you got?
in this house at one time. Quite a few.
At least 3 right now.
Kind of walked into that one.
Yeah. What if Danielle's
I gotta
downstairs
say,
and I'm upstairs
I'm just a little disappointed. That's all.
and we're playing
A little
battleships?
disappointed. I didn't even get to the point where he's like, "Absolutely," but it might be a little out of your price range. I didn't even get that. I got his perhaps like, "Oh, I've got some other interested parties, and I value them more than you."
It's
And you are. They are here. The list starts here. You are somewhere down the bottom.
it would kind of be,
Perhaps if there's more than 2, you might get up there. I doubt it though.
it would
It's
kind
going
of
to be
be
a lot of work.
it'd be tantamount to someone like in 84 or 85 to buy up all the Ninja Turtles and not open them for 30 years, and then you'd be like, "Oh, dude, you have 2 of the Donatellos. Can you give me one?"
Hold on. Are you comparing?
Oh, hold on, weren't they $7? I'll give you
comparing
$7
Ninja Turtle action figures to
in the
vinyl
package.
toilet paper, of which
No, this is not
there's a
toilet paper.
worldwide shortage now.
This is not toilet paper.
It's what's going to answer the prayers of someone who only bought 2 rolls of toilet paper.
You only bought 2?
Oh no, I have more than that. I'm just saying someone dumb like Tony, it would answer his prayers. But hopefully, I'm getting in on the ground floor of this little deal.
Yeah, it hasn't even come in the mail yet. So you could, in theory, take it off my porch.
Has it shipped?
I really can't give that information out over the air.
Well, you could at least tell me, did you get screwed?
Never mind, I already got it.
All right, we can move on. And I'll have to rethink.
I did-
role in this whole
I did
podcast
get
and
them.
your
It
role as
wasn't-
my friend.
It wasn't like they're out of stock. Who knows? Maybe it won't show up. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I'm not
then-
interested anymore.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out there and buy a whole bunch of T-shirts and have your face put on them, and that's what I'm gonna wipe my ass.
Cecilia's like, Dad.
Why are you having 200 T-shirts printed up, Mike? You'll see.
You'll know why.
And I'm gonna make a little dispenser that dispenses Nick Face T-shirts. And you can
But you know, it
Go ahead,
has.
kids. Wipe your ass till your heart's content. There's
It
way
is,
more than one.
it is kind of nice because it takes advantage of the warm and the cold water.
I don't care.
As an adjustment
Move it on.
in those cold winter months.
Lost interest.
So,
Letterkenny.
right after we summoned Joe, he did say, he's like, I'm on my way, dickheads.
Oh, we've heard that before.
Doors locked, right?
Yep.
There you go.
He said
I told him to show up after the break.
Move it on.
he just said, "What time's the break?"
Breaks when we say it is, motherfucker.
Ooh.
That's how that goes.
Boom.
Hot take.
Boom goes the dynamite.
And
Mic drop.
boom goes the
All right, so gentlemen, we've got what time we got?
I got 102 on
102. Should we take a break now? And we're going to come back, and we got a lot of shit to talk about. Letterkenny Live. I want to hear your thoughts, and I know the rest of the civilized world, listening to us now and in the future, want to hear your thoughts too. So let's take a break. 10 minutes. We'll come back.
Sounds like a plan.
Beautiful. What's that? Perhaps. And we're back.
Smears food all over the countertop of it.
Sorry, Nick was just telling a story about how he's relatively certain that Cory sat in one of those little bouncy chairs when he was a baby.
Yeah, the ones that roll across the floor and have all the little gadgets and switches and little wooden toys that go along a little metal piece back and forth.
Yep.
The little poppet ball thing that you
A,
hit.
B, C.
Yeah.
Turn the blocks. So
Yeah, yeah. And only his tiptoes touch the ground because he's in the little seat hammock in the
Yep.
middle with the wheels.
Yep.
I think he would love one of those even today.
I did not have one of those, but I had one that you hung in the doorway.
Oh, the bouncy
Yeah.
thing. Of course you did.
Of course,
You know,
because
one of my most favorite memories. Well, it's my favorite now, but at the time it scared the fuck out of me. Was I would go over to Cory's house, and Cory's dad would be. It wasn't Cory, because Cory was probably too old by then. But then the two of them were wrestling on the floor, like in the middle of the birthday party. It'd be like literally a cage match in the middle of the living room between the two of them, like sweating, and there had to be like two men enter, one man leave. It was one of those types of things. But he would. So it's probably Keegan. He would take Keegan and throw her up in the air, where she'd be like, touch the ceiling, and then come back down again. And I hadn't had children yet, so I'm like, oh my god, is that?
You don't do
That
that.
looks so dangerous. Do you do that with kids? Like it's so risky. Why would you do that? Maybe I just don't understand what it means to be a father.
I could never do this.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe I'm not ready for kids. And he's wrestling his kid on the ground, and he's trying to pin him and like break his arm. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. It was a real eye opener.
so for those who obviously are unaware, during the break, the reason that this conversation came up is because the ups and downs of Cory Selesky, and that's not the fact that he gets blue a lot and then happy. He gets up
I get what?
blue.
Oh, okay.
Does Cory get blue?
he
I've never
gets-
seen Cory blue.
Yeah, he's been blue. He gets up from his chair and he slowly fiddles with something. Then he sits down. Then he thinks of something else he wants to mess with, and he goes and adjusts it. So the Facebook camera and cords were adjusted at least 2 times during the break. So
About to be 3.
now
No,
hold on.
what?
Hold on.
I'm not.
So now
Okay.
he's he went through all that trouble to readjust the camera angle.
Yeah.
So it only includes his wristwatch. Both of us are on it, just great. And I looked down, and he went like this. He goes, and I looked at him like, what the fuck is this? And he just is like, he almost gave this look like, just don't say anything, Bob. Like,
all right, do I need to move closer to Nick now? Because
no, we're fine.
you're way too close. If what you're doing on the camera is, there's no way you're in that shot, Cory, unless you zoom out.
This is Captain Fiddlesticks over here.
Jesus.
Oh, good. Now we'll be able to. Whoa! Falling. Something's falling.
Kentucky Fried Christ, Cory. What is happening now?
We're good.
Are we?
Oh, good. Now,
Are you watching?
Now
it?
we'll see his wristwatch and the bill of his hat.
I'm trying to get good audio so people can actually hear us. I'm not worried about them really seeing.
And the audio
Dude,
comes.
no one's watching this.
The audio comes from the phone.
Yeah, once we figure that out, once we can get it into the mixer, then we can put the camera back as far as we want.
So, Alan, if you're out there, buddy, I'm going to reach out to you this week. Try to pick your brain for how to do that. I think I know how, but I think it's going to entail buying an additional part
That's
to make
fine.
it work.
That'd
Of course, that's fine. You can afford that.
Well, I'll buy it. I just think it'd be quite awesome that if the Facebook Live, if we could have the camera all the way back there and people could still see us but hear from the microphones.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think that would boost our live audience a good amount.
I'm going to go from 1 to 2.
Possibly 3. And someone's
Ooh,
dog.
don't give me hope like that, Cory.
You know, I aim big.
What I really hope is that years in the future, when there are literally hundreds of thousands of people listening to this podcast,
Yeah.
and we've long ago stopped doing it because we're like, no one's fucking listening. They'd be like, oh my god, they really thought that no one cared. But we care so much. Everyone in this stadium is
Everyone in the stadium?
is now better off for having listened to this podcast.
They're just playing our podcast in a
Yeah,
stadium?
yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
whole,
it's like a Manchester United game.
a whole cult following of
Oh my god.
Schnozzcast listeners
The
out
Rolling
there
Stones didn't pull in the people we pulled.
that we don't even know about.
Yes.
Makes sense.
In a quote from Friends, no one is appreciated in their time. Phoebe was like, "Oh God, I would kill to not be appreciated in my own time."
I almost sent something to you today because I got one of those standard Facebook ad reads where it was like you could buy this metal piece
Schnozzle fork.
with these friends
A Kinkajou.
with these friends sayings on it. It was like in this house we pivot and we're we gum is perfection and all those other fucking friends quotes down there. Oh my god, I need to take a snapshot of that and send it to Nick. I did not.
Yeah, thanks. It was like my dad used to say. He's a big duck hunter, and he's like the fact is I love waterfowl hunting. He's like I love hunting ducks.
Hunting in waterfalls?
Yeah. And he said, but when you get into something like that's generalized like that, or sports or whatever it may be. Oh, excuse me.
All right.
He said, people think that they have great gift ideas for you just because you like ducks. He's like, so you start getting a duck shirt and duck slippers. He's like, and you're like,
slippers.
okay,
They make duck slippers?
Of course they do.
Little mallard
Wait,
heads
is
on
the
them.
duck face on the front
Yes.
with the toes?
Yeah.
Or are you putting your foot into the duck's mouth?
You're
No,
putting your
no.
foot into the duck's ass.
No, yeah, right. So he's like,
oh, yeah.
he's like, I don't want all this little duck statues and duck candles and stuff like that. He's like, if anything, I like to kill ducks. He's like, seriously, come on. But I understand that. It's like, oh, yeah, you like Friends, so how about a giant Friends fork with a bunch of quotes on it? I don't want a giant fork in my kitchen.
Didn't you also send me today or tag me on a Facebook post for like a $45 fake Yeti cooler thing for Letterkenny?
But you have a giant, probably more than $45 Letterkenny blanket that you purchased behind us.
And I'm
So
all tapped
you
out.
are that
I'm all
audience.
tapped out for Letterkenny shit.
I don't.
This is a one of a kind custom made thing.
If I
But
had-
I feel like that one.
If I had like an artist come to
I
my home
appreciate that you sent that to me.
and paint a
that's why I
tapestry
thought about you
of
for
like
Friends.
Matt LeBlanc and fucking Jennifer
Ooh,
Aniston and all this
I
stuff
wonder
behind
if you
me.
could get a Friends blanket like this.
I'm sure you can.
That would be amazing. Right there behind you. Oh,
God.
oh.
Next thing you know, just quilts everywhere down here.
Well, if it was his quote, then yes, it could absolutely cover up the TV and the whole back wall. It's my.
Oh, of course.
People are gonna be like, "What's that? What's that podcast that looks like a homemade fort?"
Dude,
Couch fort.
don't disparage that. I would kill for a couch fort podcast. That would be amazing.
Us all just sitting there.
Which one of you fuckers never had a couch fort?
It was like the.
I think I got my answer.
Yeah.
Nick never had a couch
Oh,
fort.
please,
Jesus, Nick.
please! It was like
Do yourself a favor. Take your couch cushions off tomorrow and make yourself a couch fort.
That's all we did all summer, and the floor is lava. We did that all the time. Yeah.
So, wow. So you're just like, no, I'm so over that. That's so.
No, I'm not over it.
That's so 1994.
I don't want my home festooned with blankets that I have to walk through to do laundry.
Your fucking living room's over there.
I know.
It's not even over here.
Oh, well, good thing I got this TV that I purchased to put our logo on only.
Well, you'd have some shades where you literally like, and the
Yeah.
blanket would.
That
Kinda
was,
watch
That's
TV.
actually not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea.
Rig some stuff
Yeah.
up that you can roll them right into the ceiling.
yeah, that'd be great.
Good ideas.
Yes, you do.
But it was
Cory.
there was an episode of Friends where
Appreciate that.
Ross had all his boxes.
Yeah.
He was living with Joey and Chandler for a while, and they came home and Joey had built it into a giant fort, and he had
Yes.
he had a cowboy hat on,
Yeah.
and Chandler's
And
like,
he kind of like.
"What are you doing?" He's like, "You made a fort." He's like, "Yeah." So Ross is like, "Come on, it's fun," and pops up out of nowhere with
Right.
like Indian feathers on.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay." So he goes over and gets inside, and you see him duck down. He comes back up, and he's got like this woman's prairie hat on. And he's like, "Isn't this a woman's hat?" Joey's like, "Dude, stop talking crazy and make us some tea."
And this is the guy who doesn't want a friend's blanket. Like, there's no one in the world that I know. There are no women I know who like Friends as much as you do.
Like
Like, totally built for you. Ah, good times, good times. All right, so Letterkenny Live.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
there goes the light.
Oh, Jesus. All right, so do we leave just that one on, or do we turn on the one by the...
No, we've just that one on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did you get it to work last time and not this time?
Because
It was charged.
You didn't charge it last night.
Oh, that's true. But I charged that,
What?
the charging bank, which Cory left
Which is-
down here.
Which is now dead, right? Because it's been running out.
No, that's fine. But
I thought it's been charging out of the charging bank this whole time.
so apparently it needs to be charged, and the charging bank needs to be charged for it to keep a charge.
I don't understand.
It can't run.
It can't run just off the charging bank.
What?
So what is the charging bank doing while it's hooked up to it, even if the light is fully charged? Is it not like back charging it?
It is, but it uses too much power to be able to just go
Okay,
straight off
it eats through more power than the bank
Then
can
it's
provide.
gaining. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Nick, your thoughts? Letterkenny Live this week.
Loved
what did
it.
you think?
Loved it.
To give for our listeners who actually, I'm gonna give that to Cory. So hold on a second. I'm gonna put it over to Cory. Cory, give our listeners a brief backstory on what is Letterkenny.
It's about some folks in Canada.
What is it?
It's a TV show.
Okay,
On
where,
Hulu.
where can they find it?
Hulu and Crave, if you're a Canadian listener.
You can find it on Crave. Okay.
But it was created by a gentleman by the name of Jared Kiso,
Mhm.
that was an amateur hockey player. And he decided to up and leave his hockey career to make a YouTube web series about a city that he created himself called Letterkenny.
Okay.
And after making several short little YouTube videos and clips of basically just some very funny banter between him and his friend Derry, which I can never remember his real name.
Nathan Dales.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they started making these YouTube clips, and it just skyrocketed.
All right. So in the town of Letterkenny, there's 3 groups. What are the groups of people?
The Hicks, the Skids, and I can't even remember.
The Jocks.
The hockey players.
Oh yeah, basically the Jocks or hockey players as they refer to them in Canada, because no other sport matters.
Yeah, I think jocks. Jock is a uniquely American word. I don't think they use it.
Yeah, so I'd say
Outside of
the hockey players.
Okay. So, Nick.
Yep.
Letterkenny Live. How is it structured? What would one? If someone's listening to us right now, and they're like, okay, these fuckers went to a Letterkenny Live show. They loved it. They're giving it a high recommend. I'm going to go watch it, and let's assume that I love it like they do, and I want to go see the show, which has been, postponed. Basically, they've stopped the tour. They might reschedule some dates, or they may come around again, and you might have another chance to see them when they're in Detroit, or maybe you live elsewhere. What can they expect to see in the show? What was your general, like, what's the structure of the show?
So it's not, them just showing videos of the show. It's not them, putting on skits of, things they've already done. Basically, it's a menagerie of...
Menagerie.
This is an imaginary menagerie.
No, it's a very real menagerie.
Okay.
At the first time we saw them in Chicago, it was just the basic characters. But this last time, they had a good chunk, probably all of the main characters. All the main characters that you're going to see on the show, they had, about eight different,
at least, yeah.
8 different characters. 2 of which, Mark Ford and T. Trevor Wilson.
T. Trevor Wilson. Yep.
Are both actual comedians in real life. So they populate, kind of pepper in to the show, a good mixture to keep you on your toes. So they'll come out, they'll do some skits, and it's set up the way they do it on Letterkenny. So they have a fruit stand, and they have projection screens and stuff behind them to make them look like they're in Letterkenny. They're all...
Talk to you this week, buddy, and try to figure out how for sure to hook up the Facebook Live to the mixer. So I'll try to see if I can pin you during the week sometime.
Yeah, that would be fantastic if you could give us the insight on that.
Oh yeah, he's definitely played with that particular mixer more than I have. So he's got some science to drop on us.
Love that.
That would be pretty sweet.
All right. I got a boost news story.
I do. You can go first. You can go first.
All right. Well, mine's not too long, but essentially, I saw this article, and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. I didn't know that existed. Have you guys ever heard of archery dodgeball?
Yes.
It's called combat archery.
Mm-hmm.
You have.
I have not, and it sounds very dangerous.
I had never heard of it. It's not, but it's actually.
Damn it!
It sounds pretty.
Where's the fun in that?
Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Well, you can go in the woods with your buddies with arrows. You don't need to get a league together to do that kind of shit if you want to shoot arrows at each other.
Well, let's start that up.
No, let's not. So.
I'll let Bob read.
All right, Joe says my feelings have been hurt badly. Joe, pull up your fucking panties, put your big girl panties on, and get your ass over here. Okay, we've got a dead microphone sitting over there right next to Cory, where you could be talking and dropping science on all of our at least 4 listeners. So, okay, so combat archery is essentially like dodgeball, where it's an indoor sport. 2 teams going to line up along the back wall of, let's say it's a gym, and there's like a common, like a neutral area in the middle,
Okay.
with one divider line that kind of goes down the middle. So let's just pretend like it's the half court line on a basketball court, but then let's
You lost me.
Jesus, you have seen a basketball court, right? You were in gym class.
I think I accepted my diploma in one.
There you go.
That's as far as I got.
So that little line that ran down the middle of the floor where you walked across, that's the half court line.
I thought it was duct tape.
Dead nuts.
So we knew where to shake the principal's hand.
Dead nuts in the middle of the court.
Gotcha.
So probably 4 feet on either side of this line makes up this neutral area where they just scatter a bunch of these arrows. So everybody's got not a legitimate, but a sort of a makeshift
Compound bow.
compound bow. Thank you. And when they blow the whistle, they all break toward the front. But instead of grabbing dodgeballs, instead of balls in a dodgeball game, they're grabbing the arrows as many as they can. And the object is obviously to hit the opponents in the other team. And if they get struck, then they're out. But they can catch the arrow just like you can catch a dodgeball, and then you're out. all the arrows are tipped with.
Dodgeballs?
That would be almost amazing if they were tipped with dodgeballs.
Well, the entire time you were telling the story, that's all I was
You
thinking.
know how heavy that would be?
I know. The logistics aren't there.
Defy
but
all of the laws of physics.
I was just imagine this bow with a big dodgeball.
That's it. I'm out.
It's
I'm pulling my funding. I don't see this sport going anywhere.
it's like double the size of an extra large marshmallow.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's
Yeah,
on the
think
tip.
about-
No, I'm saying
right.
that's what
When
really
little
what it
Oh,
is.
is it?
Yeah.
When little kids, because you can get little kids. I bought one for my kids. Little kids buy a little tiny kid bow and arrow, and that's all it is. It's like a little puck that's essentially styrofoam on the end of it. So when it hits you, it doesn't hurt. And that's all it is.
All right. Well,
But it's a huge deal. It's in. They've got leagues in probably 35 states right now.
really.
Yeah.
Is there one here?
There is one here.
Whereabouts?
I don't know exactly where.
Well, that would be helpful.
I wasn't anticipating that you would either understand or appreciate
Keep
what I was about
reading.
to tell you.
But the cool part is, Cory, is a lot of the arenas are set up like a paintball arena. So there's cover. There's
Oh, they have
different
like
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can hide behind
barricades and
Yep.
things of that
Different
nature.
locations you can run behind, and
But I watched a little bit of this on a YouTube clip, and
oh, now he knows everything about it.
fucking bananas when they go for those arrows. I saw a dude like basically try to scoop up as many arrows as he could, and as he was trying to beat it back toward cover, he got shot like 8 times by people on the other team. Were like, oh, they just grabbed one, and they're like quickly load.
Oh yeah, that's all you need is you can only shoot one arrow at a time.
But these guys, I wish I could remember the name of the. It was an article in the Washington Post which you required a subscription for me to read, so I didn't. But what I gleaned out of the couple of paragraphs that I was able to pirate were that this guy left he quit all of his other extracurricular activities to only focus on this, and he got a team together, and they practice twice a month. But it's like an all-day practice. Like they practice for probably like 12, 14 hours a day, twice a month, and they specifically practice on like quick shots, because he figured out that like, oh, okay, I've played the game, I've studied the game. The way to win this game is you have to be able to get a shot off quickly and accurately. So like that's all he does. It's just a quick, just hours and hours of practice.
Kind of the idea of shooting.
But
Shooting a
no
bow and
one
arrow.
else was doing that. They were trying to figure out like, oh, if I just, if I'm good at gathering the arrows, or if I'm good at cover, if I'm good at covering fire for someone who's moving from one cover to another. Like that's what this guy's like, nope. All we need to make sure is that we get off shots faster than any other team. And now
Cory would win that game.
now his team is the combat archery champions of the United States. And he's only been playing it for like a year and a half.
Well, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So to kind of segue from that a little bit, basically along the same lines, there was a laser tag place that opened up in Westland
Mhm.
that kind of had that same idea, but it was rather than using like the futuristic, little like zappers and laser shooters that most places had with just a crappy little vest that you put on. This place did like the actual tactical experience, and they had M4s and long rifles that they were using as the laser gun.
Nice.
And when you would shoot it, you'd actually hear like actual rounds coming out of it, and the laser wasn't just a straight beam. What you saw was an actual muzzle flash coming out of the weapon. And,
Oh, that's sweet.
and the vest you wore was an actual tactical vest that zipped up that the gun connected to with all the sensors on it. And I think the one really cool part was that it was the most like realistic about it. You only had 30 rounds, and then you had to reload. So you would have to try to find cover, and there was a button on the back of the magazine that you'd have to sit there and hold for, I think it was like 10 seconds. And then you would reload your magazine in order to get more rounds. But the playing field itself, they had like 2 police cars that had the lights on and everything. And then like a bunch of like little side houses that you could go into and take cover in. And of course, like, barrels and everything in the middle of the playing field.
Was this like a dream you had, or?
No, this actually...
Was it a wet dream?
It was a wet dream when I got there. But it was an actual place. I think it's still around. It's on Warren and Wayne.
Okay.
There's a right by the movie theater there.
So to put a cap on the story, there is a place in Michigan. It's at the Total Sports Complex in Farmington.
One Farmington. Where's that at?
Farmington.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Where's Farmington at?
It's by Redford.
No, like in what roads?
I don't know. Google Total Sports Complex in
Okay.
Farmington. You'll find it. They offer the field to rent, and it's each archery tag match includes 10 bows and 40 arrows and an on-field attendant. You can do, if there's more people than your normal team, you can do $15 per extra bow and arrow set. You can get 1 hour for $200, or 2 hours for $325. Now there's 8 people on a side, so you're legitimately splitting a $200 hour-long session between 16 people.
Oh, it's not bad at all.
No, not too bad. You got to make a reservation, but if anybody out there is interested, it looked really fucking interesting to me. But apparently it's a lot of from the article that I did read, I'm not sure any of us would make it through that game because apparently it's a ton of cardio. It's a lot of running, a lot like a paintball game and a dodgeball game combined. So I don't see any of us getting through that.
I think I would have more problem firing a bow.
Really?
Supposedly, even though there's a big marshmallow puck at the end of it, they fly pretty accurately.
I used to get bullseyes and shoot with no sights when we did archery when I was younger.
Like he also
That's sports. I don't say sports.
he also closed his eyes.
I would. I take the sights off and I shot better without sights on my compound bow. We won every
Really?
weekend.
Okay.
I would destroy you too.
Well, I would think we'd be on the same team.
Damn it.
But maybe not.
Oh, Nick's going rogue and shooting his own teammates.
Nick shot an arrow to the front and the back and hit us both.
Today we've got Nick Bader's bidet team versus Cory and
Bidet
Bob's
team.
dirty ass team.
I'm still stuck on that
I
bidet.
don't really like either of those names.
Not a fan of either.
All right, Cory. So that's my blues news story.
All right. Well, I don't want to put too much of a sad damper on things.
You are selling it hard right from the beginning.
You know, that's how I do it.
Oh, I am all ears.
But given everything that's going on in our current state with the coronavirus and all that,
The state of Michigan?
the entire state of the union. Well, something popped up that I kind of found interesting because I actually had looked it up and researched it a couple times before. But this has caused the closure of one place.
Get to the point!
Ooh.
Disneyland has closed.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it makes sense. But the interesting point to me was, can you guys guess how many times it's been closed in the past?
Oh, that's a good question. 9/11. Right?
Oh, that was going to be the second part to it. I was going to say give a number first.
Fuck,
but-
sorry. I thought you were talking about the total number of times
well,
it's
yeah,
been closed
right.
in its history.
Yes.
Is that your question?
Well, that's the first question of what the number is. And then I was going to go to what those events were.
Oh, okay. So are you asking us how many
yeah,
times?
what's the number?
Okay, so I'm going to go. Where are we counting this time?
Let's go negative. Let's just
Negative?
go
Okay,
in the past.
so 9/11. What?
Just give me a number.
Okay, I guess we're not teaming up here. I'll give you a number.
9/11.
5.
5. Nick?
Yeah, I was going to say 4.
Ooh, again, I don't know how you get all my news stories prior to me reading them, but
Oh, you motherfucker.
it is 4.
4 just seemed like it seemed more probable.
Now, Bob's already got the one. But what do you think those events were that caused the park closures? 9/11.
World War II.
Negative.
Cory, when did Disneyland open its doors?
Like 1901 or some shit.
No, not even close. Disneyland opened.
I'm going to say 1964.
1945.
Well, it can't be 45 if you're saying there was a World War II. That's why they close their doors.
55.
55?
Yes.
Okay. Split the difference.
Close without going over. How about the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Negative.
No, he just said 55.
I don't know what that was.
You don't know when the bombing of Pearl Harbor was?
No, I was not alive then.
Okay. So, anything that happened before
Okay,
your birth?
okay. I can understand you want to get something right, so you just name them off.
No, go ahead. I already named one.
I'm wrong, so I already got something right. I'm going to go out on a high note.
Which one did you get right?
4 times.
I will put a correction there. So the 4 would be including this one. So there's only
so it's really
only 3 pass closures.
Oh, okay. So we were both wrong.
So you have 9/11 was correct. You guys are probably going to be pretty blown away by the other 2.
The hostage crisis? The Iran hostage crisis?
No, getting a little closer.
I'm trying to think of something that would have affected the park.
Challenger explosion.
Ooh.
Even closer.
Uh,
It was a
NASA related?
no, it wasn't NASA related. It was a detrimental incident that occurred to
Bay of Pigs?
our nation. Oh, whoa! Even
Cuban Missile Crisis.
No. You were
Bay of Pigs.
you were getting real warm on the Bay of Pigs.
Bay of Pigs.
Who's connected to Bay of Pigs?
JFK?
There you go.
His
Oh, his
assassination.
His assassination
that
they
makes
closed.
sense. All right.
And then the last one, I don't think.
You know what we're gonna get?
I'll give you this much. In '94, it was in '94 that it closed.
When Captain Kangaroo died?
Oh no, the Northridge earthquake.
Northridge?
Yes,
Was that an area in Florida?
I know it's an area in California,
Are we talking Disneyland or Disney World?
Disneyland.
Oh, dude, you didn't say that.
Yes,
Son
I did.
of a bitch.
I said it from the very
No,
beginning.
you didn't. All right, I'll have to go back to the tape.
I said Disneyland from the
Oh,
very
okay,
beginning.
all right. So Northridge, so the Northridge, what, earthquake?
Yes. So 9/11. Well, in order.
Yeah, Northridge.
JFK assassination,
Okay.
Northridge earthquake, and
Okay.
September 11th, and then now currently the coronavirus outbreak. Only 4 times, which I
Fascinating.
think is pretty insane that they've only been closed 4 times in their history since 1955.
Yeah.
And thinking of all the things that you guys listed off too that they could have closed for.
Just imagine the cleaning that you're getting done right now.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Just,
Can you unlock your door? Looks like Joe's here.
Yeah.
oh boy.
I know I got to put my thumbprint on it, so hold on.
Bob's incapable.
Right. What the fuck? I'm not your fucking waitress.
Bob's incapable of unlocking.
Biometric door.
Yeah.
And-
Hey, Nick.
Alexa.
You always serve the beer the best. Can you grab me one out of the fridge?
He's a little salty tonight, huh?
No, not at all.
Jesus Christ.
Just Nick Bader.
Did you tell him about the problem
No.
on the break? Well, it seems like you did. He's
No.
extra fucking salty.
Dude, and imagine if I did tell him how bad it would be right now.
I mean, it was bad now. That's why I'm saying it. Did you tell him? Like,
Yeah, no, because he would have brought it up.
oh, like it was my fault or something?
You put those ants in my freezer?
Well,
Oh, I guess cat's out of the bag. That's
look,
what
he's
the
not,
issue was.
again, he's not going to listen to this podcast, so we're just going to.
No, and we're going to tell him at the end of it.
Oh, the end. Yeah, totally. So this is awesome. This is like a breaking news podcast. Story.
Yeah.
It's a cool story.
Bob came down here to put the fireball away in the freezer, and he's like, "There's ants everywhere."
There's fucking ants all over the thing.
And so,
And it's full of food.
yeah, dude, it's that fucking savory chicken that's not vacuum sealed.
It's full of food.
And knowing Nick, he's going to get rid of all of it.
Well, he's going to have to dump all the food. I don't know how many ants are on the inside. They're certainly not just on the outside. They're trying to get into the food.
Maybe they're frozen and didn't make it to the
They
food.
were crawling around like they were.
Oh, hey. Welcome back, everyone.
Not there?
No.
What?
There was no Joe to be found upstairs?
All right.
No show, Joe.
What?
Well, since you're up,
Richard
you want to grab some fireballs before
All right. Yeah, fuck that.
Joe gets here?
I'm not even texting him back.
Did he say he's here?
He sent me a text that said door unlock. What would you say?
Because he's probably about to leave.
Leave where? His house to get here?
Yeah. Why are your ants?
Again, so now I'm supposed to like set a timer going like, what's that?
Fucking ants on my freezer.
Ants on your freezer.
Yeah. What the
There's
fuck?
what? Are they in the freezer?
I don't believe so.
I would hope
Why
not.
would, why would ants want to go where food is?
Well, I don't think ants are going to survive in 5 below. So,
They're giving it a shot though. Looks it.
or maybe somebody spilled sugary fireball on the floor one time.
Who would spill sugary fireball?
My moron friends.
I would never spill
Yeah, I
a
don't know
tropic
what you're talking
fireball.
about.
First of all, whatever
I've
you
only poured at the table.
and hang on, did you pick up on that when he was talking? It was somehow inflecting into one of the microphones, and I was picking up in my headphones that you could clearly hear him from over there,
I hate inflecting.
or maybe it's just my headphones.
It could be your headphones.
Yeah,
All right, fair enough.
those top of the line ones that you have.
They are top of the line.
That
sorry.
extra power that from the charging.
That Beats by Dre.
Whatever, dude.
Who cares about Harman Kardon's?
Harman Kardon.
I've got Beats by Dre.
It's not a contest, man.
But isn't it?
It's not a close one.
Not a contest.
Just dust the ants off. Extra protein.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Joe's here.
So can I just come clean?
Yeah, we might as well now.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we're at the store and we told the story, which I'm not going to repeat again, about buying fireball at 7-Eleven. So we get here, he starts to unpack his bag. I'm like, I bought a pint, he bought a pint. I'm like, give me your pint, I'm going to put it in the thing. Let's do the shot. All right,
Am I going to need it for the story?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to do another Schnozzcast. Not now. What the fuck?
I'm like, what did you break?
What did he break?
I don't know. Apparently he heard the story about potential
Jesus Christ.
potential paintball, and now he wants to play.
Joe, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Guido.
That's my coronavirus mask.
No, well, don't take it off before
It's
you're
got,
on camera.
it's got giant holes in it.
Dude, seriously, put it back on. Come stand here in front of the cameras so people can
No,
see
that's
you.
the only
Otherwise,
thing
why
I
the
did.
fuck did you wear it?
Oh, no one will see him on that
It
camera.
didn't go over as funny as I thought it would.
Where's he going to stand? Right behind you?
Come right over here.
We'll stand by the Bill of Cory's hat.
There you go.
It's wonderful.
All right, beautiful. All right, so please join us in a shot. Hit pause right now. And you're back.
I thought we were hitting pause.
Here we go. To you,
Is Joe going to have one?
to you, and to you. Oh, he's going to sit down.
Cheers.
Bob was in a hurry for that one.
No, I cheered them. It was too fucking slow.
So would you break a fifth of fireball on my floor?
No,
No.
I grabbed his pint of fireball. I'm like, I'm going to put this in the freezer. And I go open it up, and I'm like, what the fuck? There was like 7 ants crawling around the outside. I'm like, that's not good. I open it up, and there's a couple more inside. I'm like,
In the freezer?
yeah, right, like just over the
Yeah.
lip.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these ants are really desperate because it's fucking cold in there. I go, I called Cory over and he looked at it like, yeah, he's like, yeah, that's not good.
Is
And
like
I-
that
so-
thing,
so
that stupid Fago of his, or those sprites on the floor leaking or some shit?
I have no idea.
I don't have
But
ants in my house.
But I told Cory, I'm like, we can't tell him on the podcast. He's like, no. We're gonna wait until we're walking out the door. We were like, thanks for having us, dude. By the way, there's ants in your freezer.
That was the plan.
Because do you know how bad there'd be like volcanoes going off in his eyeballs?
There's
It'd
no
be so-
ants in the freezer. There's
so
a
bad.
seal that
If-
goes
if
around
he-
the whole thing.
Right. So why would there be right? But
And they would definitely
I'm
die.
like, with all the work that he's had to do, the notion that he might have to take the food out of there, throw the food away, clean that freezer again.
Oh, no.
Hours of work. I'm like, let's not
No,
not spiral down the drain right from the beginning.
I bet you any money what it was is someone was fucked up or something and poured a shot on top of that freezer.
I have never in my life poured a shot anywhere
Well-
other than this table.
Well, I know I've had to wipe it down a couple times. There's been spots on it.
It's not. I have no idea.
I
from
mean,
what.
it's no, but I mean, they're coming first.
No, I'm legitimately telling you, I've never poured a shot anywhere but this table. And any beers that I've had have gone from this table over to the top of your dryer, and that's the only place they've gone. I also don't know where they're coming from,
Yeah, neither do I.
but I'm like, I don't know if I really want to drop this on him right now.
Oh no, it's no big deal. No big deal.
Let's turn.
And
let's
we
turn,
don't-
let's turn Mr. Joseph Arquito's microphone on. Go ahead, Joe. Say hello.
Hello.
There it is. There he is.
And we don't eat down here either, so I don't understand.
Well, we haven't in a while.
Maybe they're
It's been.
mistaking all the drywall dust for food.
Powdered sugar.
I don't know who would have done that.
Oh God,
Maybe
Joe,
Steve.
good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you guys.
This is the power of the internet. I can shit talk you over my laptop and have you show up at Nick's house and
I
see
heard
you
it
on
all.
the podcast. Oh, I figured you did.
The unfortunate part, Joe, that you might actually like and appreciate is that no one can see you record.
Oh, you didn't fix
Well,
that.
they
I
can see
couldn't
part
see
of me.
him.
No.
I could see his
Yeah,
hand.
but you,
Uh,
I'm like, I only care about the audio version. Like, I can hear you when you sound amazing.
Wow.
So that's all I care about.
Right.
I've been here for a while. I haven't gotten told that.
I tell you that all the time,
Do you?
Yeah.
You haven't told me that in years, Bob.
dude. You take compliments very well.
I do?
All about the compliments.
Cory's peeing. Hold on.
Yeah.
So Joe,
Yes, Bob.
how are you, sir?
Good.
Been a while.
You know, Joe,
I'm liking the goatee / beard.
the Joe.
It's got sort of a. Who's the old magician from the 40s?
Kind of got a G.G. Allen look to it.
No.
No?
Yeah.
No. Like he was like a mustache. Is it a Snidely Whiplash mustache that I'm thinking of?
To me,
Or do you think about the Amazing Kreskin?
No, the amazing.
Jonathan?
No, he's not doing good, by the way.
to me, I'm thinking. So what?
Oh, we've talked about him
The
in the past.
documentary.
Have
Yeah.
you seen the documentary?
Yeah, he doesn't look good.
Anyway,
To me, he should be like walking next to an elephant. Like he's like one of the Ringling Brothers.
you'd be like shoveling shit up to the elephant.
No, well, the Ringling
Next to
Brothers
or
didn't
behind?
do that.
Next two are behind.
Like
Big
with
difference with the elephants.
cantaloupe music playing.
You mean
I'm not-
Calliope?
Yeah,
Did you
sure.
say cantaloupe?
The
Cantaloupe.
ringmaster.
That's what I thought. it was.
Cantaloupe?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
The elephant poop.
Well, if you're
study
bring up a
Calliope.
If you're going to bring up a circus reference, it's Calliope.
Sure. Okay.
There you go.
But, you know, a big top hat maybe.
The ringmaster.
Sure.
Right.
You would look good with a top hat.
You know, Joe,
I have a top hat somewhere.
it seems like only...
Dude, next time you come to the podcast, please
Please bring a
My
top hat.
I have a top hat.
We'll
seems
make
like
sure that Cory tries to get you on camera.
I don't know. My headphones are gonna fit with that on.
seems like only yesterday you were here.
So,
Oh, by the way, go ahead. I don't want to steal your thunder. I feel like you're already going where I was thinking.
so Joe, as you can see,
Yeah.
we got a new mixer.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, and so
Colorful.
yes, it is. But we're also able to add sound clips to it.
Really?
What he's getting at is
Sounds like big
you've
bucks.
been here in spirit without even being here.
No, I was in Florida. That's why I shaved. I went to see my brother. But yes.
Woo!
Thank you.
Let me just.
You've been here in spirit.
You know how long I've been
What was I
waiting...
supposed to say?
You know how long I've been waiting to tell this Florida
Give a
story?
response to that.
I don't care what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Anyway, Florida was amazing.
I just drove all the way here, so I got things to say, motherfuckers.
I had to drive like a maniac.
All right,
in
I
Florida.
do want to hear about that,
I
but I
did
think
have
the point that Cory is trying to make
You've
is
been here in spirit
while you've been not here and not on the podcast, we've had you on the podcast.
in
when
this
we
in
need-
this way.
Yeah.
No, I got
Well,
that. And
things are
thank you.
going-
I don't know how to respond to that.
But you don't
Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
What?
so I don't need to play it then.
I take it. There's audio clips of.
Yeah, he,
So
he,
you- yeah, so you
he's
have-
never heard it.
No,
so
I
when
haven't
there's,
heard it.
When there's bad news, when things are going south, and in this day and age, we're dealing with the coronavirus.
As they do.
Bit of a very intense thing.
Bit of a kerfuffle.
Exactly. Then we just, if we really want to know, like, hey, how bad are things going? Then we just play this clip.
Welcome death, everybody, because it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
That's very nice.
And that's been on there since the purchase.
I think
of
we
the
played
new-
it at least
new book.
once for the last like 5 weeks.
What were we talking about? I don't remember.
Death.
Something
Death,
depressing.
Yeah. Well, no. To be fair,
To be fair.
To be fair.
How long have you been
We
working
were-
on that?
that's a natural thing. It just comes
Very
like
good.
that. We were probably talking about something joyous and like buoyant and something lighthearted, and then you came in with exactly. You came in with the death shit.
No, I don't use that lightly.
You did very
Depressing.
liberally. You used that death shit very liberally.
I don't know why that got me.
I do like that. It's pretty sweet.
Toot, toot. Oh wait, you haven't heard the Cory one.
Oh. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, it sells itself. There's nothing else you need.
But on the to be fairs,
To be fair,
To be fair.
so we have to work on our barbershop quartet on that.
we do. That was a very
So we-
impromptu.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
That
So that'd be a little bit better.
You need one of those little.
Joe, could you come in the high end? Or
Joe
lower
is a
than,
tiny
lower
I
than
go
mid?
high.
Joe is
You
a
gotta
type.
go Oh, so you gotta point to Joe first.
I do.
Joe's gonna be lower than you. Yeah. I'm gonna try one more time.
If I go high, it's gonna sound bad.
All right, so you're gonna point.
Oh,
to,
I love it when you go low, Joe.
You're gonna point to Joe to go low, and then you're gonna come in then me then Cory.
Okay.
Should we practice before?
Let's
This
do
is
it.
practice.
We unleash
This
this
is
beast.
practice.
Yeah, let's do it on air.
Yeah. This is where the magic happens. Are you ready?
Ready?
Yep.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair. Oh, I think Bob's cutting that
Oh,
one.
I'm putting that on the goddamn button.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Goodbye, my Coney.
Dude, this
Baby.
mixer is worth every penny.
It has paid for itself.
Oh my god.
Oh, that was pretty
I take
fantastic.
it
On
neither
the
of
fly.
them have
What?
a button
No,
No.
just the two of you.
yet.
We talked too
Well,
much.
to be fair.
Stop.
No, sorry.
You've unleashed the beast.
God damn it! We gotta do this every 2 seconds.
To be clear,
It seems like you're getting
There
a
you
little antsies in your
Much
pantsies.
to be clear, you guys are probably more quote worthy than the two guys who talk the most. When you guys speak, people listen. When we speak, people are like,
Kids, time for bed.
Bob's honeyed voice. Typically.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
You remember that pillow talk?
oh, Alan Almond? Absolutely.
Yeah.
My mom used to listen to him all the
Oh
time.
my God! Driving,
would-
you're like,
He made women wet for decades.
Wasn't he like a really big fat guy too?
I have no idea what he looks like.
I think
All
he
I know
was.
is his voice.
I think he was.
You know what we can do.
he's radio personality, so he can't be that
Put him on the
close.
screen.
Beep boop 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 beep.
As long as you can do a Google search and pull up his image, then yeah, I guess we could do that.
Shaky hands typing.
Hey, listen,
Typing.
I'm just giving you guys a heads up right now. We're at like 150, which is probably like maybe a minute less, given that we took a break. So, but I'm going to put probably a minute of music in there. So, do you guys still want to stop at 2 hours? Or do you want to just keep going?
Nick's not doing the Instagram.
So you just keep
and-
going?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not doing the Instagram live.
And
And we're not going, we're probably not going to raise.
I'll say, and you're not going up to Raise, are you, Nick?
Yeah, you're done for the night.
I would say that's a Texas size 10-4, buddy.
So
Well done.
no.
Well
Nope.
done. Right there.
No raise.
Just sit there.
So
Leave it right there. There you go.
so how about we do a second break?
Oh, and make it a second. And we'll do like episode 63 stops at 2 hours, and we'll do like another, like however long, and we can save it for a rainy day.
No, we can still post it.
Oh, okay.
Just do another break,
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
and
When all of a
For all we
sudden,
know, there's no one listening anyway.
when all of a
So-
sudden the coronavirus hits and you were wishing you were a 10-ply, bud.
I've been quarantined and I don't have my Schnozzcast to listen to.
Dude, I'm telling you, #1 podcast in the history of communication, the Schnozzcast.
You know,
Prove me wrong.
Second.
You know what I think
Yeah.
we do need a button for?
What's that?
We need a button for like a breaking news button.
Oh, there you go.
Like that we can press. Like when there's
Do you have breaking news?
no, I don't. But we could have a breaking news
Okay.
or a news story, like
Yeah, that's not a
you
bad
know, a
idea.
news button.
Yeah. Corey, do I have to find that clip, that sound on YouTube somewhere? Like, how can I
Like-
get a sound like that? That's
Like Mort Grimm.
I can send it to you. I already have one.
you got.
This
Yeah.
is breaking news with Mort.
But someone we're like, we're not going to get sued if we play it.
No, it's
Do we have
not.
to give credit to someone?
Nope.
Okay.
Because it's from the iMovie file, so it's you're able
Yeah,
to
then
choose
absolutely.
and post it.
Right. Does it sound stupid though?
No, it sounds exactly like what Nick just did.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, or put it up in the Google Drive, and I'll pull it down from
All right. So here's our boy
Oh,
Alan Almond.
I was going to say, can you make that a little bigger? It's like the smallest thumbnail I've
Oh,
ever
that
seen
looks
in my
good.
life.
no, that looks good.
He was a tiny man.
Yeah, just
With a
leave it like
with a
Big voice, tiny
man.
face.
just leave it like
Oh,
that.
hang on, hang on.
How tall was he? 4 or 5
He's
inches?
about this big.
I'm so
Whoa.
Oh, all right. There you go. He looks like my dentist.
Not a bad looking guy. I mean, for
What?
an old
that's Alan Almond.
gentle.
He looks like he should be giving you a free get out of jail free card.
Dude, that guy right there that you're looking at got mad pussy. Mad pussy.
Colonel Sanders' grandson.
Like he looks seriously like if you posted that you needed a grandfather to play in a show, like he would be standing in line, and I'd probably pick
You do
him.
not understand because it happened before you were born. The attraction, the pull that this man's voice had on female listeners all over Metro Detroit.
Oh, my
Of a
dad
certain-
always had him on
Of a
the
certain
car.
age.
Always had him on the
Oh,
car.
your dad.
Well,
No,
so I was
it's
trying to.
soothing jazz. It's like
All I saw was this.
All right. Well.
something my dad sent. Hold on, I gotta make a phone call. Are you gay?
Hey, Joe. You know it's Daddy's time now in the car. Go run inside.
No time.
Alan Almond's on.
Joe.
Be a good boy. Go inside.
Right.
So,
You're listening to the quiet.
The time for
Quiet
speaking is
time.
done. The time for Alan Allman is now.
Right.
Right. You can get the fuck out, Joe.
My dad wears a lot of purple.
All of a sudden, my dad grew a mustache. I'm not sure why.
And he wears glasses, but perfect vision.
And all of a sudden, he doesn't like when I say "cum catcher."
That's not specific to just his dad.
All right, it's 1:54. Now is probably a good time for a break. We're gonna.
yeah, we'll do a
Come back.
second break and come back.
All right, is there anybody out there that cares, or are we just broadcasting?
James Papier.
Papier?
Yeah. He was here
Oh,
at a certain
I love
time.
that movie. Steve McQueen,
James Papier.
Justin Hoffman,
Miché.
breaking out of that French guy out of prison. Fucking stellar filmmaking.
What's it called?
Papier?
Oh, that's what it's called. I never heard of that one.
I think it's Papillon. Papillon.
Okay, it's time for a break. When we
yeah.
start making weird noises into the microphone, that's when we know
As you
it's
just
time.
heard, we're not a film appreciation podcast.
No, we're an audio podcast. So we'll be
That's the
back.
medium by which we grow.